Okay, so this video is perfect for anyone who's always looking for the perfect time to start. If you're always looking for the perfect time to start, if you don't know when to start, if you think that you're not ready yet, if you think that you're not prepared yet, or if you think you have not studied enough yet, you will always keep on delaying your process, and you will never ever actually start. So waiting for the perfect time to start is actually waiting forever in a way. So I know if you're scared of building your first business, because trust me, I'm so scared. Like I was scared when I was just starting out 4 months ago, and now after 4 months I'm still very very scared. It's been a hectic journey. I feel like sometimes my heart rate is too high. I don't feel like working sometimes. I don't feel like sleeping sometimes. I haven't slept properly in the past like 2 weeks anyway. So it's going to be very hard. It's a tough journey. It's a hard journey, and it's the one of the toughest for someone who's doing it for the first time. So the reason why you keep on delaying the process of never actually starting, or of never actually doing the thing which you always think that you are capable of doing, such as building that first business, because you have not internalized that you deserve it yet. Because if you read this book called Reality Transurfing, that's the name of the book, and this book was recommended to me by this guy called Iman Ghazi, and also there's another influencer called Daniel Mint. So both of these influencers, they recommended this book called Reality Transurfing. And in this book, basically, it just says that if you think you deserve something, it will happen to you. It will happen to you. If you think that you deserve to make $1 million a year, you will make $1 million a year. Doesn't matter how it's coming to you, you will make that much amount of money. It doesn't matter if you have to scrape the floors, if you have to climb a mountain, if you have to make content, all that stuff. Like, it doesn't matter. It's gonna come to you if you actually think you deserve it, if you have internalized it. If you think that you deserve it, then it will happen to you. So this has been one of the most toughest week for me, for my startup, because my incubator has already started, which I mentioned in the last video. So if you don't know what an incubator is, basically like a startup space where tons of founders are building and doing the due diligence of building a startup. So if you are building a startup, usually it takes about 3 to 6 months to do all the due diligence and make sure that your startup is investable, or if you're bootstrapping, you're building the right thing. Because there's so many times where founders or anyone who is building the startup for the first time, they don't know what they're doing, and they accidentally end up building the wrong thing, or they invest too much money or time and waste all the resources into doing something which is not going to get them the return. So I'm in the due diligence phase of my startup, and right now I am still validating my product, still talking to customers, still speaking to clients, and I was speaking to the people who are running the incubator. So all these entrepreneurs have been in this industry for 25 to 30 years. They have been building businesses, and they have exited multiple businesses in the past for multi millions of dollars. And it was 4 of these entrepreneurs and me in one room for 90 minutes on Thursday. Today is Saturday. I haven't spoken about this. I had to record this video 2 days ago, but basically what happened in the stress test, that's what it's called. It's called a stress test, where they question you back and forth and make you answer every single thing, every minor, major, every single thing about your business as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, which you should know in order to make sure that you're building the right thing and your startup is investor ready by the time this incubator comes to an end. So this was one of the toughest weeks of my life, because first of all, if I got the certain feeling that I'm not doing things which I should have done, or I'm doing things in a wrong way, or I'm not asking the right questions to the people who could be my clients, or could be my clients for my startup. So essentially right now what I'm building is like an AI powered solution to bridge the gap between influencers and brands, and make the whole process of influencer marketing more seamless using AI. So if I can use AI to find influencers for a brand using, let's say, a prompt, and then after that, if I can find influencers for the brand, and then compare influencers using AI as well, and then outreach and negotiation using AI as well, and do the full analytics and the aftercare of running an influencer marketing campaign using AI as well, that would be fantastic. And that's the main dream, that's the main goal for this startup, for my startup. And so far I have done a lot of progress. Lots of things have gone right, lots of things have gone wrong. But I know that sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and my heart is beating the fuck out of me. Like I literally can't go back to bed because I feel like I'm about to have a cardiac arrest, because I feel like I have made so many mistakes. Now, I think to some extent, entrepreneurship is glorified more than it's normalized. If you feel like you're doing something, like, I'm not saying entrepreneurship is easy or building your first business is easy. It's definitely not easy. But if you continuously think like you're doing something like climbing the moon, or sorry, like you're going out of the space to land on the moon and come back, or you're climbing a mountain, or whatever you're doing, if you feel like you are actually doing something so glorified, if you think that you're doing something out of this world, you will never actually end up doing it. But because as a human being, we end up doing things which are normalized, right? We end up doing things which we think, hey, everybody's going for a walk or going for a run nowadays, everybody's fit, might as well I also join the gym. It's 1st of January. Today's the 10th of January, by the way, but let's say 1st of January, everybody wants to get fit, everybody's in the gym, right? If you think that if that's normalized in your family, within the people you hang out with, to remain fit, to stay thin, then you would do it, right? And then it wouldn't be so difficult to you. But let's say everyone in your family is fat. You are fat. Everybody's lethargic. Everybody's lazy. Of course, you're gonna feel like, hey, what I'm doing is so difficult. I don't know what to do. I can't hire a trainer, or even if I hire a trainer, I can't focus on my diet. A lot of these things will come up because it's not normalized within the space you grew up with, right? So in order to become an entrepreneur, let's say you are from a family where self-employment is not very normalized, where making money by yourself is not very normalized. It's very, very normalized to get a job, work a 9 to 5, or work in a bar, or work in a pub, or whatever. It will come to you as a very much shock if you want to start your own business. So if you want to build something of your own self, it should not be so glorified to you. It should be normalized to you. Then only you will be able to do it. And you see these entrepreneurs who, like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they had so many advantages because the environment they were in, right? So if they're building in Silicon Valley, not only will they have that PayPal mafia behind them, they will not only have that entire team of amazing people they can hang out with, and all the investors which are ready to give them money. If you're someone who is building something which is in a corner of a country, third world nation, where you don't know anyone, you don't have many contacts, the first advantage which you can do for yourself is move out, get out of your hometown, and move to a first world country, or move to a first world city. So a city like London, Hong Kong, New York, Miami, Los Angeles, Dubai, whatever, like these cities are actually going to help you to build in that environment, find you the right people, and at least you know that if I am in trouble, then I can ask these people for help, because you will be in trouble. You will make a lot of mistakes. It's so human that you will not make any mistakes. That's so like petty, and that's so it's not possible for you to not make any mistakes. You will make mistakes, you will learn from it, and you will grow. And then to some extent, if you think that you being self-employed doesn't really mean you have to build a business from scratch, if you think that you can just build an agency, that's also a good business model. You don't have to think that you have to build like a whole business from scratch, or we have to make a whole SaaS B2B startup, or do like a full-on brand clothing, something like that. You don't have to do all that. If you think that you can just do something like SMMA, or nowadays like GEO is really a hot topic right now, ranking higher on ChatGPT, that's very, very in right now. Or e-commerce, like David Forgetty has amazing lessons on YouTube for free, selling digital products, selling ebooks. Iman Ghazi is for that, or doing influencer marketing. Like that's what I'm doing right now, influencer marketing agency, and I'll tell you more about that business model in a bit. But if you think that you can do this by making $10,000 a month, which is not very difficult, I'm not saying it's impossible, but making $10,000 a month, doing something by being self-employed, running an agency or like a freelance business, and making $10,000 a month is not very, very difficult. And if you stick to something for 6 months, perhaps you will be able to do it. Perhaps you will have something which is making you at least $1,000 to $2,000 a month. You have somewhere to start. So you don't have to live in a first world country. You can just live in the third world country. Let's say Bali, Indonesia, India, whatever. Like you can just stay there but you can charge the American clients, you can charge the the western side clients. They can pay you more money and you can do things for them, you can run services for them, and that's pretty achievable. So if you think that you are able to do all this and you don't really have to be called like a whole entrepreneur, you don't want to go into that trap, because essentially once you're in this, you'd never want to leave. I am 4 months into this journey and I really feel like I have missed out. I'm 20 years old. I'm about to turn 21 in about 21 days. And that's crazy, actually. I'm about to turn 21 in 21 days. That's insane. So, yeah, like if you think that you are able to make something of yourself, even with less, risk, less, all that stuff, all this glorification, I would say just do it, because as hard it is to solve a small problem of getting a job, nowadays getting a job is not easy either, right? If you have a 9 to 5, respect it. Like, I respect you, because I had a 9 to 5 a couple months ago, and actually just last month, and I quit. But it was hard to get a job, right? It's hard to get a job in today's market. It's hard to land a job in any space nowadays. So solving a small problem is just as solving as a big problem nowadays. And I'm not saying that, like Donald Trump said that, and I'm not a fan of Donald Trump or anything he does, but I do respect him for saying that, because nowadays I have realized that solving a small problem is just as difficult as solving a big problem. So if you think that your chances of failing can reduce by doing so much volume that it becomes unreasonable for you to fail, that's also a right way to think, because you need to think that if you, let's say, are outreaching to 1,000 companies to run their social media marketing, to do their social media marketing, at least one of them is going to ask you to hop on a call with them, right? At least one of them is going to be like, okay, fine, this sounds interesting, why don't you hop on a 15-minute call and show us what you got, something like that, right? If you just do that, just have one client say, give you a good review on your website, leave a 5 stars or something like that, do the work for free for the first time, you will do fantastic. You will do fantastic. Nobody's going to stop you then. No, and after that, you could just charge higher and higher, increase your prices, whatever, until you get to $10,000 a month. So that's the way to, at least start out, do things which you want to do, be employed on your own time, and not really focus on anything like being employed, going to work, clocking in and all that stuff, because I have done that. It's not very fun. It's difficult as well, just like being self-employed. So choose your difficulty, choose your hard, like it depends on where you want to be paid and where you want to be, in which world you want to be rather. So speaking about my stress test again, so I was surrounded by these 5 entrepreneurs who are sitting in this room, and they're questioning me back and forth for 90 minutes straight. For 90 minutes straight, we did not stop talking. Literally, like I don't think I've ever spoken to anyone ever since COVID-19, like in a closed space where we are sitting in the meeting room for 90 minutes straight. We are constantly back and forth on question and answers about my startup, about my business, about my team, about who I've hired so far, what I have learned so far, all these things, questioning. So all that happened, and these entrepreneurs who are sitting, they are the founders of the incubator, and they are very, very good at what they do, and also they have 25 years of building and selling businesses experience, which is amazing, which is something which I think that everybody needs in the start, a helping hand who knows, who's been there, done that kind of thing. And you need that, because if you think that you can do this all by yourself without any support or external guidance, good luck. Like literally, I don't think I've heard anyone who's ever made it in their lives done anything without a mentor or coach, or like, without reading books or doing or getting some people on their team. No one can do this thing alone. I think doing it with others is the most fun part, because over the last week when I hired my team, I've hired a CFO and a CEO and also a CTO I already had, and also a startup and AI advisor. So I've had like 5, now it's like 5 people in my team now. Speaking to them and learning from them is like the best part. Literally, it's the best part of being an entrepreneur, because you get to learn, because as human beings, we're like social people. We don't really, we're not supposed to be alone, right? Being alone sucks. I hate being alone. Even though I'm a loner, I love being, I'm an introvert. I don't like going out on a Saturday. Today is a Saturday anyway. Like, I'm not going out today. So I'm a loner. I don't like going out. But doing this with, like-minded people, that's the best part. That's the best part, and that's the most beautiful part of building a business. So in terms of my stress test, it didn't go very, very well. Obviously, like, it could have gone a lot better. But the best part was, after, in the session, like, obviously they had this thumbs down, thumbs up sort of thing, in which, like, 3 of them said thumbs down, 1 of them said thumbs up. And after the stress test was over, I came out of the room. I was exhausted. I drank some water, and I sat down on my seat. All of them, like, except of the 3 of them who, like, basically said no, 2 of them came out, and 1 of them also came out to the room, and they all constantly, one by one, said to me when I was alone, that, Raghav, I think you did amazing. I think you crushed it in there. You just need to refine your product a little bit more. You need to focus on a little bit things more over there. And I think you crushed it, and I think you have a fair chance of getting a funding. Like, that's what they all said to me, one by one, after I came out of the room. So I think this is just showing me that people who believe in you will put pressure on you. People who love you, they will put pressure on you because they want you to succeed, right? Like, they don't want you to fail. They don't want you to waste all this money, energy, resources of your time, your hard work, and then in the end you do some sort of bullshit. And they don't want that, right? Like, they want you to succeed. They want you to be out there. So if you have someone who in your life can support you, put pressure on you on the right terms, keep you alive, keep you motivated, keep that person around. Don't let them go, because it sucks to let people go in your life. I personally have let 99% people of my life, like, go away. Like, literally, the way I cut down people in my life is actually insane. Like, it's like this. It's quick. I don't accept any bullshit in my life. I have a no BS policy. Now that I am building a business and I know how valuable your time is, the more you respect yourself, the more other people are going to respect you. So 100% keep your head alive. Don't waste your energy, don't waste your time, don't do drugs, don't do party, don't drink, don't drive, and your emotions need to be separate from your business. Okay, your emotions and you crying, wimping, I understand all that. I have done a lot of that as well, but your emotions need to be separate from your business. Okay, you don't really hire anyone who, let's say, just in, like, rare cases where a husband and a wife are, like, in the same business, it never really actually goes well. Like, unless, like, there are some special cases where, hey, something, like, there's a special case for that, but most of the times it doesn't go well. So don't, if you're like, like a husband wife couple kind of thing, like, if you're building a business with your best friend from childhood, or your brother, your sister, or whatever, like, someone you've known for 20 years, I would say don't. Like, it doesn't really go well there. You do need someone who you can trust. But if you have some terms aligned, you have some things sorted out, you have your contracts laid out, so there's no confusion, there's no controversy. In case things go wrong, then you have your terms laid out, and you go both your separate ways, and nothing really bad happens. So you need to have that. Otherwise, do business with strangers. That's what I suggest, because I've done that and I love it. And in the middle of my 6 months monk mode, so this is my 4th month, and I'm in 6-month monk mode, which ends in March, and then I'll probably go home for a while. I would say that it's one of my biggest, most exciting journeys. I would never trade this time for anything else. I think everybody has to go through this grilling time. Everybody who wants to be successful has to go through this grilling time. And the more longer you can extend this time, the more successful you might be in the future, So it's important for you to know, hey, I know what I'm capable of. I have to keep going, whether it's going to take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. But important thing is to just keep going, because if you're in hell right now, why are you stopping in hell? You have to keep going. Don't stop in hell. Don't camp in hell. Keep going until you've reach the heaven. So that's my advice. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start now. And stop waiting forever. I believe in you. And just like Iman Ghazi says, I'm watching for you from afar, and I'm rooting for you.